Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the Trenches, the Frontline Prediction League storyline, etc. show where we do the recaps and the previews and stuff, and easily the most normal version of the intro I've done for that. My name is Scott, and joining me is my co-host, BeerMeJesus. How are you today, BeerMe?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Got, it's the stupid hot here. It's hot everywhere, I get it, but it's been hot and muggy, and it's that kind of rainy hot where it rains and it gets real muggy afterwards. It's
humid.
Yeah, we've had that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's been bleh. How about down where you are?
It's been all right. It's been raining a lot, or it was raining a lot this past week, and it actually rained some today. So yeah, we're kind of in the same boat. Just rainy weather.
Well, we've got a hell of a busy week, so that's our small talk. Thanks everybody for listening to that. We've got literally a recap of Best in the World, as you can see, and then matches for the upcoming weekend, a double shot of shows. Out of the way, this is not top of the card. That's the other one. This is Frontline League on Twitter, and you can go onto our Discord and follow along there. Top of the card, I was going to say after, but I got an even better segue now. Top of the Card's a wrestling podcast. We're talking about the actual wrestling and stuff like this and the results and things and looking at different news stories and that. That's Top of the Card Pod over on Twitter as well. Find it where you find everything on Spotify and whatnot. Excuse me, and all that fun stuff. But this is where we're going to talk about the results of Best in the World, a house show, but also look towards the upcoming weekend because this is our first double weekend in a while. We have Slammiversary from Impact on Saturday. I believe it's at 8 p.m. and there is a 1 hour pre-show according to Fight. And our deadline is always an hour prior to the pre-show. But if the pre-show is officially only a half hour, we go by that. So just get your picks in Saturday afternoon early and you're good. It is Thursday when we're recording this, so the picks page should be up tonight regarding that and be good to go. And then after SmackDown on Friday, there's also Money in the Bank. That's Sunday, and that's 8 p.m. They're doing that again with an hour-long pre-show, so your deadline's still around 5 or 6 Eastern for all these times. There's going to be 2 picks pages actually up concurrently, so make sure to put in your picks for each one. Do them in the descending order of what you think, top of the best. Like, if you put 8 on Bandito, you wouldn't have thrown away 8 points. Funny enough, but I don't think anybody would have put 8 on Bandito because no one was that confident. And then whatever your next confident is, the 7 and the 6 and the 5, and you go from there. You don't double anything. It's all good to go. Excuse me. So with that, Best in the World. We'll talk about what we thought of that show when we go over and talk about things on top of the card. But for Best in the World for the FPL, this was a very storyline-heavy show. It is a house show, just like Slammiversary. There's a lot of just kind of like story beats and moments and things happening in these. Doesn't really count toward the standings for the tag division or the singles divisions, things like that. But it does get story beats and move along to the one that does count, and that's going to be Money in the Bank. That'll actually count really toward your records, even though you're in storyline, like your records count and everything. But you get the idea. So, bear me. What did you think of Best in the World from the FPL? What stood out to you on this show? Anything in particular before we dive right in?
Are we talking about like the actual show, or are we talking about like the FPL?
The FPL.
From what happened. James Costner beating GMSG. That's pretty big.
Yep. That's yeah, I didn't want to call it an upset, right? Like that I wanted to make sure of that, but it still was like, oh, we did it. You know, it's
Red beating Bastian too. You guys tying was a big one. How do you tie at a death match? I don't know, but you managed to do it.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, those are just some big things.
Well, let's dive right in. La Familia.
One more. One more. Oh, and the light. The guy's nickname that has the light in it.
Yeah,
it was his first show. I'm probably going to be a big fan of his. I don't know why, but it just caught my attention. So
yeah, you were saying that. I think that like when we were jumping into like live and stuff, you were just talking about it. So I remember. That caught your eye. Like, who's this guy?
Right.
So yeah, so we'll get down there as we go. But yeah, starting off the main event, La Familia, Sebastian Escobar, Detrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog defeated CJ Hawk, Lexi Briggs, and Junction, and it was pretty big too. It was 100 to 72. Now, the average points people were getting was like 30, was pretty solid. These guys got 100, so that's like 30, and that's 90. They did good. They did real good in that. The other guy's 72, not so great. But we'll go through. You can see the negative 8s on CT and I, and we'll get to that. But La Familia, this is the kind of thing that I know we all wanted to see, where a new faction comes in and does good out of the gate and does strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's almost a joke of another faction. Yeah, but if they're good,
right,
right, there's no problem with that. And this could be that missing piece that Alpha Dog and Detrick and Sebastian Escobar all needed.
Because
they've all been
adding
close.
that extra piece. Yeah, obviously adding that extra piece has helped. So I think they're gonna turn some heads here.
Alpha Dog has been close and been running pretty solidly since we had him back in the JRPL. Detrick Cyrus has, I mean, I've had him looking strong as best I can since like the Rumble, but he's never really been able to climb above that, but has clearly deserved it in a way. Like it's just that right time, right piece hasn't fallen, and suddenly here he is winning a main event in his faction. And Escobar, I mean, we've talked about him since day one, and to see him coming out here as number one is pretty great, I think, overall. So I'm very happy with this faction to see what happens from that. And the more, I don't want to say the more factions the better, but the more successful factions the better. Not good, but successful. Seeing a faction win is awesome. So very happy to see that. And not for nothing, CJ Hawk, Lexi, Briggs, and Junction, they tried. I mean, it's Hawk and Lexi and Junction, but it wasn't enough against that threesome. So, what were your thoughts on that one?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I'm glad that. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that I'm glad because there has to be somebody that loses, but
yeah,
I am glad the new faction did get the win.
Mm-hmm. No, I expect big things out of these guys. We've been saying that for a while, but now they're making it happen. Like they're forcing it, which is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I really like that. So I'm very pumped to see where these guys go from here. Not that I'm not excited for the others, but they just kicked down the door, is what I mean. So that's pretty great. You said there's got to be a winner. Sometimes no, there doesn't.
Yeah.
CT and I went to a draw in a death match. That was a last minute thing where we decided, you know what, this is such a blood feud, it's got to be a death match. So yeah. And then we went to a draw. We did find, even if the double negatives weren't part of it, because that's what deathmatch stats are, we still would have tied. So it wouldn't have mattered if it was a deathmatch. It would have been like 32-32 or something like that. Wow. I think is what it was. So yeah, we did poorly with negative 8s. That's what happens when you put a lot on Roosh and you get it wrong and you get the double negative. But little things here and there helped out, but overall, yeah, it was a draw. But that worked with the story because I was able to call back when Red ended another one of CT's matches that shouldn't have been ended that way, technically, and is just messing with CT, and that's their future. So, yeah, I'm not in a good way though because I got my throat stepped on with a baseball bat, crushing it. So that's not great. It's not great, and now I've got you in a submission match at Slammiversary and then JD the next night. Oh, God.
Ooh.
This is going to be bad.
Pretty tough.
This is going to be bad. Leave my neck alone. Yeah, so that it was a fun match, but now we got to have a rematch, right? It's got to happen. So we'll come to that one down the line. Another big match was Alexander McKennedy defeating RGX 39-32. Non-title, of course. RGX is an upcoming challenger for McKennedy. It's kind of a bit of an evenness because McKennedy faced JD non-title, beat him, and we saw what happened from there. And then RGX, well, I didn't quite beat him, but the way I had the write-up, I didn't have him just destroy him outright. He kind of snuck the win after RGX was outsmarting him. So I like the way that one went, and I like to see more of that story, especially with the three of those guys. That's a big fun one, I think. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, more no contests. Look what you did. Look what you did with Broken Nerd. You, Beer Me, it's all your fault with Broken Nerd. 29-29.
God.
That one's a bit easier to do as a no contest because you guys are just like two faces brawling and going at it. Competitive nature, you just got counted out. It's fine. But
whoever wrote that match did really good.
That was me. I'll take it.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was admittedly no. So Red wasn't able to write stuff for this one. It was CT and I. who did these. And admittedly, for Best in the World and Slammiversary, the matches are a bit shorter. Yeah, the main event type stuff, we do go full tilt. CT wrote the main event. And I wrote a couple of these ones. CT wrote these next few. But we try to get it there. And, we're already working on the write-ups for the next one because we've got to have them out before the next day. So stuff's coming. We're working on it. We're going. It's nuts. You mentioned the upset. Red defeating Bastian. Bastian with 26 seems low here when I look at it. But, ROH is a bit weird. That's why I said this was the time. Red beat Bastian. Yeah. I'm damn right. Very happy with that. I can't say enough good things about that. I'm happy. It's my girl. Sorry, Bastian. But yeah, that's the way to go. That's awesome. But then you guys had a rough night. You didn't get a single win, but you didn't all lose. But GMSG did. James Costner beat him 37-28. 37, great score by Costner. That's what I said. He's very, very, very dangerous. So that's a great, great win for him against GMSG, who is a bane of my existence. So very good to see that win from him. And it was a very emphatic win. There was no... It was very determined, is what I like about that. So, very good to see that one. Meanwhile, a close one. The Strays just lost by a point to Ralentendo with Smooth Rock. And we said, that's a champion. It's hard to beat champions here. And Ralentendo, he's getting wins even in the non-titles. We did have a history there for a bit at the start where the champions were all losing non-titles but then winning their title matches. Ralentendo, not him, not anymore. He's winning these non-title matches. So that's a big win against the Strays, who are maybe the next tag team contenders. We'll see what happens in the next week. But
or it could be Matt and Rab.
It could be Matt and Rab. We'll see. So let's go right to it. Death Money Inc. beat Matt and Rab. And it was close, because for a while there, they were not winning, because the way those guys do their picks. I think Matt picked Bandito. He's one of the ones that did that. So that's like, what?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. So, yeah. The rest of it, the main ones here, Cam beat Angela Grace. JJ Rocky beat Ace High. Excuse me.
JJ getting off that slide.
He did. I also wrote him throwing him into the crowd, but then realized the Ring of Honor thing is so far he couldn't throw him that far. Because there's the barricade to it was really big, like New Japan, then another gap. So he tried. He tried. Now Ash beat Supreme Rock pretty confidently too. Which it's Roman and Rock. I want to see that. Ray Wrestle beat Skylar Cross. Luke Gray beat Wookie. Good win for him. JD beat Chappers. 51-17.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
JD's on a roll. So is Modstep. 47-42. 42 for Jason Blades, but he still lost. That's rough.
Damn. That would make me upset.
Every other person I've mentioned. Sorry, Ray Wrestle got 42. He would have drawn with him. Every single other person we've mentioned, like Matt and Rab got 42 together.
Right.
Death Money got 56. So, the fact that he got 42 and lost, that kills.
Jace is kind of picking really well lately, too. I've been noticing that. JJ might have to watch out for him.
He is. That's going to be a real good one when that comes up. Yep. Another no contest. Casey Ward and Chef Urban, 29-29. Good scores, too, but didn't work out.
Yeah.
Roman Pierce beat Papa Snooch, 38-12. Lynn beat CM Carlito, 28-23. Midnight Rider beat The Gaffer, 29-10.
Hey.
I'm liking it. I'm liking Lee getting on a roll here. Bane the Bissa beat 3J Platinum, 12-8. A win's a win.
Yeah, a win's a win.
A win's a win. Remember, Monkey Bong had bad stats like that. He just got 38. 38-33 for Monkey Bong over Macho Mendoza. So you can turn it around. Buckin 5 beat Wesley Shadow, 35-27. And here you go. Danny the Light Jordison defeated Dragon, 26-22. Two new guys. And we've got new signups. We've got someone else who signed up as well. The word is getting out, so we're very happy about that. But what is it about Danny the Light? Is it because he spelled light with a Y? What do you like about him? I think
so.
Yeah?
I think so. Yeah, like he signed up. Yeah, because he gave himself his own nickname. Like nobody really does that,
We had a couple like that back in the JRPL, I remember. But here, I think Sebastian Escobar, he's El Rey Sebastian Escobar. He has that nickname. JD, I call him that. It's Josh Yonio. JD, Josh Yonio. And I think Jace had one. I forget. I think he had one as well. Oh, and Vitamin James Costner. He has Vitamin as a nickname technically, but nobody else does really a nickname. Oh, we had Randy the Fiend Orton is the one I was thinking of. That's who we had back.
Oh yeah,
with a Walter picture as well. That's the one I was thinking of. But yeah, we don't have many like that. So Danny Delight Jordison. Yeah, all right. Yeah. I like it because we've got so many goofy wrestling names, and I love every single one of them. Don't get me wrong. Like you've got the single names like Kane, Yokozuna, Edge, Christian. Yeah, we've got Rate Wrestle, Ash. As I scroll through them, Rab. Like Rab is like Goldberg. It's a person's name, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what he's known as. RGX
Bastian.
Initials. Okay. Bastian, like you said, there's those. But then there's like real names. Lexi Briggs, Sebastian Escobar, Detrick Cyrus, Jonathan C.T. Martin. Yeah, Scott is like, it's a single name, but there's that. Alexander McKennedy, Danny Jordison, right? Like Roman Pierce. But then you get some goofy ones. Papa Snooch, CM Carlito, The Midnight Rider, Bane the Bissa, the Gaffer, Buck N5. Dragon. I love it. I love the fact that we can get these names in wrestling and you don't really blink at it. If it was MMA, they'd all have proper names, right? Like, only back in the early days you'd have like a Chemo or something, or like a Kimbo Slice that's actually not really, but it's still a name. I say that. If you watch Bellator, there was Mizuno, that's a single name person as well, but whatever. I digress. But here, yeah, we had Danny the Light Jordison beat Dragon, and we didn't blink at that. We're just like, hey, look, a full name. It's cool. Like, this is fun to see. I like it. Now, in the achievements, there is some details here. We mentioned Dragon and Danny. They both had their first appearances. 5 for some of the new guys. So the Strays have been here for 5 appearances. Good on them. Ash for 10. And then, where is it? Midnight Rider, Luke, Detrick, Alpha Dog, and Arbiter got their 5th wins. Which seems odd, but that means like you're in a 50-50. And I'm close to that. I think I got my 5th like an event or two ago. I'm at 7 wins, so... Not as easy as you might think. Bastian also has a total of 500 career points. So that's just, like, I had -8 on this one. So, things happen. But the results, the full-blown results of what happened with people getting thrown in the crowd, or at least attempted to, CT trying to crush my neck, Red getting involved, the epic face war of Bastian, Broken Nerd and BeerMe, the craziness with the Strays, all that stuff is in here. Go check it out. And, of course, the main event with La Familia versus Hawk, Lexi, and Junction. That was written by CT again. Go in there, check it out, read all the stuff. It is in our Discord. It's some awesome, fun stuff. Definitely worth your time. We put a lot of effort into these. I always say we're very proud of them. We appreciate all the praise. And I will say it every time, even though it sucks sometimes to hear it. If you don't like stuff, let us know, because that way we can make it better for next time. It's the only way we'll know. So if you have ideas for stuff, like we're talking about people for their upcoming matches, what kind of stuff do you want here? Do you want there? We can coordinate it. And we can incorporate stuff and do some fun stuff. If you're like BeerMe, you're just like, nah, it's good. And whatever happens, happens. You just run with it. But like I know RGX comes with me all the time. Like, I got an idea. Try this. Let's do this. How about this? And then I flesh everything out from there. It's fun because when you've got a spot, this is like actual wrestling. You've got a spot. Well, how do you get there and how do you get from there? And that kind of stuff, right? So it's really creative and fun. So lots of fun stuff there. And we look forward to having Red back to do the write-ups. Just, life happens. Life gets in the way. Nothing bad. It's just, occupied. So, but next we do have Slammiversary, which is on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can see it right there. There is a pre-show. It's an hour long. Maybe it's a half hour. Your pick deadline is at least 5 Eastern. It might be 5:30. But it's at least going to be 5. Like, it won't be any earlier than that. So, there you go. This is going to be very interesting, this one, because we've got a bunch of matches here. And like I said, me and you, your In the Trenches hosts, Scott versus BeerMeJesus, in a submission match. Again. We threw out there just randomly. It's like, dude, I want to face you in a submission match. Yeah, cool. This is way, way back, like 3 years ago now. I think it was for whatever Homecoming was, or whatever the 2018 January Impact, around that time, whatever that one was, I think. And I lost. And then, because I was a bad guy at that point, and I lost outright. Next time I was a good guy by that point, and it went back and forth, and it was like, oh, you got me. But then the next time I was a real prick bad guy. We had 2 to 3 falls. And it was just violent, and it was cool evolution. And then we didn't have any because you were the world champion and you were doing different stuff at that point, I think. But then the fight pit idea came up, and you still beat me, and GMSG was involved, and I'm still angry about that. But that's 4 submission matches that we've had at Impact shows. It's got to be Impact. That's the key. Am I misremembering there being a 5th one for the Canadian title, or was that the 2 out of 3?
I think that was the 2 out of 3.
I think you're right. Yeah. And that was the Canadian title. That was us saying like it's because it's us. It could be the Canadian title because submission rules. That was our idea. I have won a submission match. It was the dungeon submission match where I won the ultra-violent title in the Canadian embassy consulate thing from Broken Nerd, no less. One of my favorite matches. But my matches with you are still probably my absolute favorite. Just some of those, I had so much fun with it because it's Impact, whatever. But here we go. After at least a year of not facing each other at Impact shows, I think it was Slammiversary 2019 was the fight pit.
Yeah.
I think it was, because it wasn't 20... No, it was 2020, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was... It's a year or two. At least a year. And here we are in a submission match. I'm worried.
Cause it's on a hard pay-per-view.
Because most of my losses with these things, it's always down to 1 or 2 things. Normally it's who tagged and who didn't. And I get screwed over because I picked the wrong guy.
Right.
And I'm still mad at Pentagon for like watching it happen when the other guy who wasn't even legal, I still get mad about that because I was right. I was right.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
But I always have problems with those questions, and it's always so close that actually costs me. This match has a 4-way tag title match. It has a 6-way Ultimate X match. It's got a mystery opponent for the women's title. It's got the women's tag title. And then there's also just a Moose match and a world title match, and I think there's another one. That Impact's on tonight, so they're going to clarify some other things probably. It's like, oh my god! And, I mean, Slammiversary is all built around having surprise people come in, so who knows what else they do when they go, oh no, it's a 7-man match. And then we throw it out. So, I'm worried about this one, BeerMe, but I know you are too at least, so we're good for that. So, yeah. I may as well say at this point, if the picks page goes up tonight, around when you're watching this, and you see that Slammiversary FPL picks page, and then they change stuff. It just, boop, comes out. So say the Ultimate X-Man 6-match, Ultimate X 6-man match, those are the words and the numbers. That match is going ahead, but then they add Madman Fulton to it and make it a 7-man match. It just comes out. It's just zeroed out. And all your points adjust around it and become descending. So if that was your top lock, well, cool. Your second is now your top lock, which is the most confident. If it was your 1-pointer, well, suddenly your 2-pointer is your 1, and your 3 is your 2. Right? So that. If we get to Slammiversary after the deadline, and Slammiversary's on, and the pre-show's there, and the deadline's happened, and then they change stuff. Like, we literally had it once, like 2 minutes into the pre-show, we had to change once. The match is 0. It's thrown out. You don't have descending. It's just killed off and gone. So if you're not even confident the match is going to happen, put low on it. BeerMe and I in a submission match, if we lose our 1-pointer, we submit. So we've got to actually look at what we're most confident in happening and outcome-wise and put our 1-pointer on it. I mean, between you and me, it's like, dude, and everybody here, it's probably Omega. No way Callahan's winning that, right? Because we've talked about this at length. This isn't like any kind of inside stuff. Like, the first belt Omega's going to lose is the AEW title to Adam Page. Then the rest are going to fall, right? Or do they build up towards it, and this is the... Because he's got Andrade and AAA in August, and... Crap! So, yeah, so that's the kind of stuff you got to think of with this. That's enough about us, BeerMe. Let's shine on others. We're the main event. I don't know why. That wasn't my call. I'll take it. I'm happy with it. It's cool. But I'm sure. Then semi-main event, co-main event. The winner picks the stipulation for JJ versus Jace at SummerSlam. We talked about this before. Jason Blades is on a roll. He's against Chappers. And this is going to be a very tough one for Chappers, but Chappers is good. I've said this before. We've already talked about this one a fair bit last time, but I still think Jace has it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
sorry.
Jace.
We didn't talk about us, but I'm picking me and you're picking you, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, back to Jace. You're picking Jace on this one, you think?
Yeah. Like I said, even though he lost to Modstep, he scored really well.
Yeah.
And Chappers didn't score that great. So
yeah,
maybe it was just a hiccup. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Jace.
That is ROH versus Impact, though, so we'll see what happens here. Next up, we do have a very interesting match. Relentendo facing Josh Dionio. Again, this is the Canadian champion versus an American challenger, just because of the fun of doing that on these house shows. Non-title, of course. But I really think Relentendo... I think I picked JD last time just because he's that tough. But I wouldn't be surprised if Relentendo surprises him. I'm kind of leaning towards that at this point. Where I think, I hope he softens him up for me the next night, too. I got him in Money in the Bank. But I think Relentendo is the way to go on this one. I think he's got this. I think he's going to be on a roll. This is his summer, basically, is what I'm thinking. What have you got?
I'm going to pick JD.
Yeah?
JD's been rolling, so I'm going to...
True, they both have. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Next up, this is interesting. Bastian coming off a loss to Red versus James Costner coming off a win to GMSG. Does Costner do the sweep? He is targeting. I've seen his character chat. He is targeting and going through the FBU. He is the FBU hunter. So I'm going with Costner. I think it's the timing. I said it before. This is the time to beat a guy like Bastian. Bastian's a tough one, but these two house shows, I think this is it. I think Costner's got it, and then he's got you. Sorry, but I think he's got this one. You going with Bastian, or do you think Bastian's going to slide?
I'm going to go with Bastian.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with Bastian. He's a tough guy. He's going to be our future world champ. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. We'll see what happens there. Next up, RGX versus Lucian Hollis. Now, I mentioned there was some rumbling about this and some unhappiness between the parties. Yeah, there's been some discussions. There's been some contracts. This has been agreed upon. This now is a first blood match.
Oh, I like that.
Hardcore rules for those involved, not death match, but hardcore. First blood match. So RGX was happy to accept that, and Alares, who did it on behalf of Lucian, of course she did. But yeah, these two, this can end quick with these two. Let's be honest. With that kind of brutality, yeah. I'm still picking RGX. I think he's going to keep upsetting. He came close with McKennedy. All he's got to do is make him bleed. He doesn't have to beat Hollis. He just has to make him bleed. I think he can beat him, but I know he can make him bleed. But Hollis is going to happily, Hollis will make him bleed anyway. So I'm picking RGX on this one. But
God, this is hard.
And this, like I said, this is house show, so it doesn't really factor into the standings. But if Hollis does some good wins against some American title people, could easily see him getting an actual chance to get in there against the American champion and eventually a title shot. I could see that happening down the line. Definitely, this is the path, and he'll bloody it on the way. So, but I'm still picking
Lucian Hollis.
I'm still picking RGX on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lucian.
Next up, we have Luke Gray versus Detrick Cyrus. This is a one-on-one fallout from the last main event. I'm picking Detrick after that. Yeah,
he had a really, really good showing last show. I'm going to pick him as well.
Yeah, Detrick's got that one, I think. Modstep and Lexi Briggs. I'm going to say Briggs for the upset. I shouldn't be picking against Modstep. I've learned from you. But I think Lexi's going to rebound after that. So I think Lexi's got this one. Who have you got?
I'm going to pick Modstep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to keep rolling.
Next up, Payne. You're going to lose to Red finally. It's happening. Here it is. Payne versus Redhead 12. Red's going to get that win. Red's going to beat Bastian. Red's going to beat Payne. Red's going to go on for bigger and better things. Yep. Red's winning. You've got Payne, though, right? I presume? Yeah. It's Payne. He's good. So, yeah. Here's one that I'm very happy to see. JJ Rocky versus Jonathan C.T. Martin.
Oh, man.
I don't know what the crowd setup's going to be like, but I know he's going to try to throw CT into the crowd. CT coming off a deathmatch tie and JJ getting that win. I think, like you were saying, JJ's got that rebound. This is all or nothing for him on that. But I think CT is going to be pissed. CT has got a mean streak, which is very similar to when I turned heel, to me. I'm realizing it's very similar to that, where he's just like bloodthirsty. So I see CT taking this. I really do. But it's JJ. We're his biggest fans. So, but CT, I'm picking CT. Yeah, of course you are.
Mm-hmm. He's got these guys win back, so he's gonna go up now.
All right, and last on this, we have a dog fight. It is Sheriff Dog versus the Alpha Dog. Because of course it is dog. I know both guys wanted this. It's a 1-on-1. Good test for Sheriff Dog to see where things lie after that very close loss in the tag match. And Alpha Dog coming off the main event win, momentum's on his side, but I got to pick Alpha Dog on that. I like the Strays. You guys are cool. You're doing good, but I have zero idea what to expect from Sheriff Dog singles, and Alpha Dog is a known commodity. And I don't think the upset's happening here on Impact on Slammiversary. So I'm going with Alpha Dog on that one. But I know Sheriff Dog's listening, and I hope you win. But I think Alpha Dog will. So
yeah, I think Alpha Dog's going to win too. They just formed La Familia, so you know.
Yep.
We'll see.
Now we've got the non-title match. We mentioned this last time, Alexander McKennedy versus the Gaffer. Gaffer lost to the Rider, so McKennedy beat the Rider, so it's not looking good for the Gaffer, but this is really, again, a step-up competition for him to see what can happen, and if anything, it's not really a gimme for McKennedy, but it kind of is, like, can he beat him, but you never know. We don't know what happens unless we give these new guys shots, like Sheriff Dog getting a singles match and Gaffer as well, so we got to see what happens, but I'm still picking McKennedy. I'd love Gaffer to win for the shock, but it's McKennedy.
That's why I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick the Gaffer for the shock.
Of course you are. And then
build up the...
And then the GMSG versus LJ. I'm picking GMSG. I can't not. I loathe him. I hate him. Yeah. He's everything that I despise. But, GMSG, I'm picking that one. But LJ, again, this is the time. This is the time to beat him. Go get him.
Mm-hmm.
Go do it. Costner it. Do it. You can do this. Now, before we get into Money in the Bank, we have a few more things to announce. I did announce one of my announcements, which was the First Blood match. Actually, my other one is Money in the Bank. So, BeerMe, go for it. You've got Slammiversary matches, I believe.
No, I got Money in the Bank matches.
Oh, well, that is Slammiversary. Sorry, I thought you had one for that, too. Well, there we go. That is Slammiversary. Again, your deadline is Saturday. Saturday. Make sure you get it in there. The picks will probably be up around the time you're watching this, Thursday night, early Friday. So that is that. Now, it is Money in the Bank. And boop, there's the logo, there's the graphic, there's the other one's gone. It's time for Money in the Bank. The qualifier, this is big. This is the big time match. We're going to decide it once and for all here, BeerMe. Luke Gray versus Lexi Briggs versus Bastian. I've said it before, Luke Gray's a feel-good story. Lexi I'd love to see in there, and Bastian's the known commodity who's probably going to take it. I'm picking the dark horse in Luke, but I've said it before.
Oh,
If Bastian makes it, he's got a great chance against Payne. If Luke or Lexi make it, I think Payne has the edge. But for some reason, I want to see Luke go all the way. And that's not a knock on Luke, because he's just kind of been doing it. So I've got a funny feeling Luke is in the right place, right time, and he's going to go all the way. I think he's going to be the first world champion, not Bastian. Now, of course, BeerMe, co-member of FBU with Bastian, who do you pick?
Bastian.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Future world champ.
Now, the rest, like I said, I talked up Luke a little bit. Lexi, again, very known commodity. I say that like it's a bad thing, but it's like it's a veteran. Knows what they're doing, been here, done this kind of stuff. Is like, don't count him out. And I think people are sleeping on these two. Bastian, I know, but I think Lexi's probably is the biggest threat in this. But I think Luke has it. Do you have any follow-up or insight on that, or you just say Bastian's going to do what Bastian does? Because Bastian wins a lot, let's be honest.
He does, and that's what he's going to do, even though I like both Lexi and Luke.
Yeah.
But, Bastian's going to take it.
All right. Money in the Bank. Now, we're not going to go into full detail with the breakdown for this. Please check our last week's episode when I believe we named all the competitors. I forget, that might have been the week prior, but we did talk about it quite a bit. And we went through the virtues of all of these people and what we thought about their chances on there. I am sticking with my gut, especially after his last performance. I think James Costner is winning Money in the Bank. And I think he would cash in successfully. I think he's the biggest threat. I've said that last year when it was the JRPL for Vitamin Yes. I think he's got this. I think he's going to win it. Yeah, the rest are... Everybody's a threat. But I think he's got it. Who do you have?
I'm going to pick GMSG.
Of course.
It's going to bring that brief... It's going to come home. The briefcase.
Oh, it's coming home? It's coming home? Okay.
It's coming home.
Yep.
Coming home.
And, of course, is he going to successfully cash in, do you believe?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Eventually, because Bastian's going to be world champ, so we're gonna.
Okay, yeah, he's got to wait, right? Yeah. The moment he loses it, he's got to bring it back. So yeah. Is there anybody you see winning Money in the Bank that does not successfully cash in?
No,
No?
We haven't had an unsuccessful cash in yet. I mean, there was that one time I think Woody cashed in and won by a point, but.
Yes.
No, I think whoever wins Money in the Bank will cash it in and will succeed.
I think you're right. Looking at the matches, CT, Lucian, LJ, Hawk, and Cam, and GMSG all know what they're doing with that. Hollis and Grace, like I said, they're a bit newer, but I think they figured it out. So
I kind of want to see Lucian win it if GMSG doesn't. Just have Lara have the briefcase.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to see him with that. I think that's the character I'd like to see the most with it. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like that. That's because of that. Cam is the feel good and the factions for the others. CT getting to call the shots would be like terrifying. And
yeah,
but Costner. I think Costner's got it. I think he's got this. So now, number one contenders for the FPL Continental Tag Team Championship. The Strays look to rebound after their 1-point loss to Matt, Zion, and Rab. This is a show that matters, a match that matters. I'm picking the Strays. I've said it before. But Matt and Rab, you never know. You got the Strays, right. I presume, right?
Yep.
I'm
going to pick the Strays.
Oh, look, it's an untitled match. Alexander McKennedy faces BeerMeJesus. I'm picking the champ, BeerMe. Well,
think I'm going to go 0-2 this week?
Well,
this weekend?
No, you know what? It's non-title. I think you might have him. Money in the Bank. I think you got him. I do. I corrected on that. I think you've got him on this, but it's going to be really, really close. And one wonky thing is all it'll take. Like if there's a match thrown out, I think he's got it. I think that's you know what I mean. Like that's where it's going to be.
I get what you're saying.
It could be that. Yeah.
Kennedy does pretty well, so he's going to be a tough opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick myself.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like
slouch.
It's like one mistake is gonna decide this match, which is the best. I love that kind of thing. All right.
Right.
Next up, Real Nintendo. You're gonna lose because you're facing my girl Red. Sorry, that's the rules. I don't make the rules. I do make the rules, but that's not this rule. That's who I've got. Who have you got?
I got Red.
You got Red.
Yeah,
that's not a knock.
On the momentum.
That's not a knock because Red's got the momentum, and I think Red's gonna pull it out. So, and last on here is myself versus JD. I'm picking myself, even though he's probably gonna destroy me. I'm not confident for Money in the Bank. I'm probably gonna get ruined and obliterated by JD, who's got me. But I say that it's not a title match. I've beaten him before back to back. I gotta be confident. He's probably going to do it. Yeah. He's probably going to do it, though. He's such a tough opponent.
He's on a roll, man.
Exactly.
I know. I feel bad, but I got to pick him. He's just on that roll, you know?
Well, let's look at the last...
You win, though.
Yeah.
If you win, though, that's big.
I mean, that means I've technically beaten the American champion and Canadian champion contenders. Yeah, well, 'cause we beat McKennedy. I've already beaten them. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so we'll see where he goes. Speaking of champion potential... Payne, he goes one-on-one with JJ Rocky, which
God, I've been wanting to see this match for a while.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick JJ just because Payne only wins the matches he needs to win. He doesn't need to win this, but it's gonna be good.
True.
It's gonna be really good. But I still think JJ's got it. He's got the momentum swing back, so I think he's got this one.
Yep. Golden Boy gets done.
And he's going to be like win, lose, I think is what it's going to be. But he's going to like turn that gear. This might be the one to like a Summer of JJ, same thing, where he just goes full tilt towards SummerSlam and onward. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, and there's SummerSlam. So let's go back. up here to Money in the Bank. And let's announce some matches, Bear Me. I've got one match. You've got two. So how about you name yours? I'll name one, and then you name your last one, and we'll round this out.
All right. This is a good one. First match is Modstep versus Broken Nerd.
Ooh, that is a good one. That's Nerd looking to rebound as well. Modstep, we're giving him some solo stuff right now because the tag situation is being sorted out with the Strays and Matt and Rab, so they're getting some solo work in to see where things go. I think Nerd's got that because it's a main show. Oh god, Modstep's so good though too. They're both really good.
Right.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a no contest because we end up with those. I'm gonna say it's a draw. No, that's not fair. I gotta pick one. Nerd. I'll pick a Nerd. Just off the cuff. Ask me in 5 minutes. I'll say Modstep. It's one of those. But I'll say Nerd.
Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick Modstep.
Yeah.
And it's no slight against Nerd, but
no.
I think Modstep gets it done.
It's such a close match, which is a great match. I love that match. So yeah. Next up, bear me, we've got my match to announce. Kier 1, Ash, and Jace of Blades versus La Familia, Sebastian Escobar, Detrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog. I'm picking La Familia. I think they've got that strength right now.
Yep.
But I mean, that's going to be a hell of a battle, those trios. So I'm picking La Familia on that one. But like we said, Jace has been doing really, really good. Ash is no slouch, and Kier 1's pretty great too. But I think La Familia, that trio, is what they needed. I think they've got this. How about you?
Yeah, there's nothing stronger than family. So
yep.
for me, La Familia.
There you go. And what's your last match to announce here?
The other creature, Chappers, is taking on RGX.
Ooh, RGX is doing a tour of duty here, isn't he? Just kind of facing everybody. But I mean, if he was champion, he'd be doing the same thing. So it's interesting to see who he's up against. So I like that. I like that he's kind of knocking off some names, or at least trying to, and getting in there. Admittedly, on a main show like this, some of these matchups, when you see some of these names and some of this stuff, you never know. They get a win. It could be something forward towards titles. Because admittedly, you had a draw and then a draw, and then you were a hair away. So you're still up there. Another win, like main show win. You beat McKennedy. That seems pretty good. Doesn't mean you're getting a title shot, but it means you're close. Same with Rad and Ralentendo. Hey, you beat the champ. We'll see what happens. So I mean, if I beat JD as well. So we'll see. In JJ and Payne. God, there's so much stuff is setting up. It's a lot of fun. And then guys, SummerSlam's coming. And look at that world title. Look at that Canadian title. Oh, ladder match. It's coming. There's all this stuff here. So yeah, SummerSlam is coming. All of this will lead towards our SummerSlam fallout. Lead toward our SummerSlam, for that matter. So please, please, get your picks in. Put in your picks. Put in your picks for Saturday. Put in your picks for Sunday, for Slammiversary, and for Money in the Bank. And then for SummerSlam. And then possibly the TakeOver that's rumored to be the day after. And then Death Before Dishonor, September. And there's going to be Clash of Champions probably. Extreme Rules at the end of the month. And we'll see what happens from there. So, bear me, I think we'll call it there. It's been about a half hour to 45 minutes. I think we're good. I think we've covered it. I think everybody knows what they need to know. You have any words of advice for people for an Impact show or Money in the Bank? Anything you want to say or not say to spoil your thoughts?
Put a lot of points on Kenny Omega this weekend, boys.
He's not wrong. We have historically seen surprises win, so Deonna Purrazzo's probably going to lose. Let's be honest about that. That's a probability. And then who the hell knows with Ultimate X, Money in the Bank? You never know. Otis won last year, remember? So who the hell knows?
Yeah.
I think one or two people picked that, and there was a joke. So be mindful with stuff. Again, keep in mind stuff might be thrown out. Stuff like that might happen, so surprises change things. If Purrazzo has two opponents, suddenly the match is gone because it's one versus. So we'll see. So everybody, tune in. Check us out at Frontline League. will be in our Discord watching these live. I actually probably won't be there Saturday for Once Beer Me, and I know it's Impact, and I'm so sad about it, but I'm probably going to be busy for that one, which makes me very sad. But we'll see what happens. But get your picks in for those. If you're not on these that we mentioned, get your picks in before the deadline. When the page is up, you'll be on the card, just like Danny, the Light, Jordison was, and Dragon, and then you'll be added and go from there. Then we'll talk about you here, and you'll work up your way to be champions like McKenna and Real Nintendo. Well, I keep saying, but they're still champions. So there you go. So I think we'll call it there, Beer Me. Thanks again for joining me. And thanks everybody for watching, and have a good night.